excited.
We are at the iconic McEwen Hall in Edinburgh, Scotland, for the very first ever major Fortnite LAN in the UK.
100 of the world's best Fortnite players have been invited here to compete, and they're going to be competing in solos. No more duos, no more friends.
We have got 8 epic rounds of Fortnite coming your way, and it's going to be super unpredictable for lots of different reasons. The main one being that we had a brand new season of Fortnite drop just yesterday, and these players are getting to grips with it.
I think I could sum it up in just one word, Ian.
Go on then.
It's going to be wild.
It is going to be wild. Are we ready? First, let's talk about this tournament right here and its amazing format. As I said, we started out with 100 players, supposedly 100 players. We are now down to 99. One of our players cannot make it here today because he's feeling under the weather, so get well soon. But for now, let's take a look at what our 99 have to play. First, 4 games, 4 points per elimination. But Taco, that second half, you've got to make sure you're sticking around because it gets really spicy. Double points for elims.
The second half is the one to really look out for as well, because anything can happen. Realistically, it could be anybody's game to take, because when you have 8 points per elimination, you don't necessarily need placement points. You can just make up for it with the elims.
And I think also when we look at solo tournaments, most of the time, these are going to be like 6 games that you've got spread across one single day. Of course, here we've got that first 4 games, then there's a little break that we've got in between those, and another 4 after that. As we mentioned, the crazy double points games that we've got going on there, which are going to be incredible to watch. But at the same time, a lot of these players are going to have to keep their cool, right? A lot of them, in solos gameplay, things don't go so well. We know very fair that they get a little bit tilted, the mentality goes downhill. So whoever's going to win is probably going to be the player who manages to keep it together long enough across the entire day.
Absolutely. I mean, the thing is, though, there is an argument for an underdog story here,
Definitely.
in theory, because look, we saw when the players entered earlier on, just before we went live, the fans are recording them all because, like we said, we've got some of the best players that Fortnite has to offer in our arena here today. However, the underdogs, especially when you get into that second half, if you could start racking up some points, you could make a shock win here, right?
For sure, and I think it also kind of levels the playing field as well when you consider the fact that everybody has had the exact same 24 hours to try and study, try and grasp as much of this competitive meta as they possibly can, because when it comes to solos, you can really only depend on yourself.
Yeah, and I think one of the things you've got to look at with those kind of 40-minute break in between in that same point is some people figure out that meta as well, right? The first 4 games might not necessarily go that well for them. They've had 24 hours to figure it all out up until this point, and that next 40 minutes in the first 4 games is really going to be what sets the meta for these players, because you know we had a couple practice games yesterday that we were fantastically able to watch, right? Sorry for everyone at home you didn't get to see them.
It was good though, right?
And it was just W key games. Everyone was really aggressive and they were hiding their strategies that they were looking for. But we kind of got a little taste of what that's going to be. But today, like realistically, the players are actually going to find out what they're going to do.
All right, let's move on to number 59, Vico. FNCS, easy for me to say, finals in May 2022. He's been in Cash Cups. He's another formidable player, and we need to be looking out for him.
And see, what's interesting is that he looks so cool, calm, collected in this player cam, right? But this guy has energy for days. And I think in particular, when it comes to his gameplay performances, this is a player that could really make a stand-up performance as far as eliminations are concerned.
Absolutely, and off spawn, off the rip, seems like he's going to be fighting Acorn, and those 2 practice games we saw yesterday, 2-0 to him, so that's an EU2 NA 0 on top of that. He's smiling, he's hearing it as well.
Can we get that camera any closer?
Please,
We're getting super close.
You can see the grin already from his face, but the one thing you will say about Vico, he's energetic, but if things start to go downhill, his mentality can be tilted, and then it ends up going a little bit more wrong for him. So if he starts losing some of those off spawn, it could go a little bit more downhill for him.
He's got the vibes up today.
Oh,
yeah, absolutely.
I could feel it in the energy here.
And look who's there, ready to destroy the lobby. It's Vino above. Has to worry though, because players are still fighting for it.
They are. This is all about height. This is all about positional situations for these teams. Vico all the way down on the low ground, no materials to his name. He has to try and make something magical happen. If I have my money on anyone, it would indeed be Vico. And Venno, of course, we know all about him.
Venno does not have enough white HP to be able to play with the zone, has to stay in it, but unfortunately no materials. And so this means he needs a player to walk right into his sights, and that will happen. Vico was ready. He is no slouch. He takes down Venno, and he's now on the move. He has a couple more builds to work with, but it is just all going to be about getting another elimination for Vico.
An absolute nightmare situation for Vico has just turned into an absolute dream, picking up another huge refresh for him. Aqua now down on the second high ground. We're usually seeing Aqua a little bit higher up. He has got the materials to take it, but I think he's just going to offer consistency here.
What is Aqua cooking? You can see him looking, and it's Vico that walks into his sight. He can't quite connect to the shot. Not many times that's going to happen back, but he needs to start connecting. If he wants any chance of getting a higher placement, it's a top 3 situation, but he wants more than that. He needs to start to deliver because Vico is ready and waiting.
Vico is waiting, and he's going to use the Cybertron cannon. We asked about it, but not quite finding the time to charge it up. As Aqua hits a huge shot. Now, can Kylie make it to take advantage of that? This is an important situation for his setup for the heal off. Does he even need it, though, as he's trying to aggress the box? Does he need it? Of course he doesn't. And it's Kylie who takes game number 2.
Forced to drop for the time being. Vico, on the other hand, 7 eliminations. He's been getting active in this one. Plenty as far as heals are concerned. Question is whether or not he can close it out. He's got that epic combat SMG, and he's putting in work.
He is, and he needs to. This is a huge game for Vico. Gets a huge beam onto the player down below. It is, of course, Canada, but now he has another player to have to deal with twice at once. Vico, how's your multitasking? Is it good? It seems pretty good to me. And that's taken out by Vico into the storm, looking to get as much of that heals up as possible. 1v1 situation. Can Vico do it?
He might be able to grab it in the process, but it's going to be Kanata who actually manages to slither away for the time being. Buying him a little bit of time, but Cammy now knows that it's Vico on the other side of this wall, wants to push forward. Vico from above, a nice connection, not enough just yet, but Vico, he is making it work, and Cammy will be eliminated.
10 elimination of Victory Royale for one of the best fighters in the region, and you can just see what that means to him. Vico, what a performance.
And again, we talk about energy. This is the guy that's going to bring it every single time. He took full momentum throughout that match. The fact that we pan over to him and just see him with a cool 7 elims. Game before that, you have to remember, he also had 5 elims, so he is really just making a huge effort to stack as many points as possible.
And what we're learning here from these players, and look, from Vico, these wins are so vital because before you know it, you're headed into game 4 and you rattle through these games like a snip of the fingers, and it's all over before you know it.
Absolutely, undoubtedly. He's hyped, he's pumped up, he deserves the win, let's go! I'm not going to mouth out what he was saying, I think it would work out too good, but let's just believe me that he's hyped.
Yeah, I think he said something like, "Woo, I'm having a good time."
I have won! I have won this video, yeah.
Let's see how it stacks up at the leaderboard later on, but for now, here's the results of Game 3. Vico with 100 points in total. 10 eliminations, count them up!
Triple-digit game.
I'm just doing a big exhale, and you can't see me anymore because that is unbelievable. Look at the comparison of other players in that match. The second highest was 5th, and there's obviously 3 people down there. The people we talked about that up their aggression, the Queasies, the Taysons and whatnot. But doubling that from every single other player and winning the game at the same time, masterclass.
You know when we talk about, players activating, getting in their flow state. I bet you this brother popped a Red Bull before the game. You know what I'm saying? That brother was, he had wings. He was flying through that end game. Honestly, no, I kid you not, yeah. When you're watching him at the end there, he's so locked in. It's one of those things where you just have to have been a GOAT in a game like this. And when you're going, you're hitting every single shot. Nobody can stop you. He's not even at that point. He's not even thinking. He's just acting. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
He's just going.
You know what? I've just heard you say Red Bull gives you wings. You're wearing wings on your T-shirt. You're gonna get Reeboks, Levin. All right, you can relax now. Okay, we've got the man of the hour standing by with Frankie. Let's see if he's as hyped up as he was post-game there.
We're slightly more chill right now, but your reaction at the end of that game, Vico, was absolutely priceless. How's the adrenaline?
I would say it's kind of high. I'm kind of shaking right now because I got a 10K win, so it's 100 points. I moved my way up.
Yeah, you've really moved your way to the top, although eliminations are worth double in the second half of today's games. Do you think you can keep up the momentum?
100%. I'm really good at fighting, so double points for your kills is just my thing.
You also came top 3 last game as well, but you were taken down by your former duo partner, Kylie. What was it like getting revenge?
It was really good. I felt nice. I felt relieved as well.
He's also sat in the row with you. What is the atmosphere like in your row of players? Do you all congratulate each other when you're doing well?
It's really nice. I'm sitting next to Marco and Vedil, and they're both supporting me and just watching.
Yeah, it's the Wave Army. You're all for Wave.
Yeah, I'm from Wave.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. You're like the Wave Army. You support each other because you're from the same org. Is that right?
Yeah, that's correct.
So, what are your plans now? As I've said to the other players who stood with me on this spot, the players who've got those victory royales, you are now a bit of a target. You have got lucky with the zones as well. Are you worried that people are going to come and find you near Mega City?
I'm not worried, because if they fight me, I'm just going to run over them.
All right, well, good luck for the rest of the tournament. You have been on fire so far. Let's see if Vico can keep up this performance, and let's see if the game and the desk have anything to say about it.
No, got nothing to say. So, of course we've got something to say about it. That man was an absolute beast, Levin, and you know what? He seems like he's composed and ready for some more consistency.
Yeah, clearly. I think the big thing for him is that he understands that there is still plenty to go. The job is not finished. He understands that if he can have more games like that in the back end of the competition, it's going to be even more rewarding for him, and I think he's ready for that challenge.
And I am concerned, though. Again, we've mentioned this. He's hyped up, he's feeling good now, and it seems that all is going well, but he is one of those emotional players where things don't necessarily go that well in a couple games in a row. That could be a downward spiral.
I think the good thing is that it's not just like a one-off good game for him.
Absolutely.
The game before, he made it very
third.
deep in, right? He came top 3, so clearly he has something about him in these games right now where like he has a strategy, he's consistently making it deep in games. If he can continue to do that, it's going to go well for him.
I also think, realistically, when some players get tilted, if they're doing badly, they get more aggressive, right? They start W-keying more, they start running into more players' boxes. If you give that card to Vico, I don't know what's going to happen in that game.
Well, you heard Frankie as well earlier say about when we get into the second half of the tournament, and if you're just joining us right now, once we get to the halfway point, the final 4 games are double elimination points. So imagine stacking up 10 kills when you get to game 5, 6, 7, or 8. All of a sudden, you're putting yourself right in the mix, Lev.
It's crazy. The potential there is scary. And of course, we're going to hype up Vico because he was sensational, but a couple other players in that game were on that same sort of mentality where they were pushing, fighting everybody, right? Tayson had 5, Queasy had 5, Marco, who's already been spectacular today, had 5. Like, these guys are starting to understand, and if everybody else is watching them, we might see a WK Fest start to kick off here.
Yeah, and there it is. Of course, Vico on the back foot right now. Does he need to get too aggressive? No, look at his materials, look at his mats, look at his heals. He doesn't need this, and he knows it.
Vico just tarping through this mid-ground area now. Has to be careful. There are so many players looking to surround. Hen finally going to get chopped down. There's going to be Veno looking to take over, but an immediate return fire shot. That's going to force Veno to expend. He's down to just 1 legendary slurp juice. He had 4 just instants ago, and now he's got none because he's out of the game. It's Hen with the elimination.
And with the elimination right there, his proactivity when it comes to positioning has worked out as Queasy right now is trying to pick up the pieces of that last engagement. Hops right inside the box, and it is another elimination for Queasy. It's Coop, I believe that was, that goes down. It was, as Vico picks up another. That's his 3rd of the game. Can he do it again, Taco?
You can just see him working his way, targeting through this low ground, making sure that all of his movements are precise. He's been known for his crazy mechs, and now he's trying to take this final challenge with Queasy, and it's Queasy who won't be able to walk away with victory on that. It's Vico now left down to the final 2 players.
Vico fragging down below, Hen sitting up top. Can he try and find a way to get through? And Vico does fall. It's Vortexes now against Hen. Looking down below, Vortexes running low on materials. Hen likewise as well. Can he try and drop inside the box? Getting a little bit closer, but this is the situation where he doesn't want to be. Vortexes has those close range weapons to hopefully close out this fight for him, but Hen of course has the answers as well. Who has the more materials? Who is it going to be? Vortexes, it's a huge shot as he drops all the way down to low ground. Hen is all the way up top, but it's going to be the SMG from Vortexes that wins him the game.
I want to see the leaderboard right now. Right now, I want to see it. And here it is. Let's see who is in our top 5, 6 and beyond.
Wow.
Vico sitting on 232 points, which puts him way clear, Lev. Well, I wonder what it feels like to be front of the pack at the first ever Red Bull contested going into halftime. We should find out. Frankie, what's it feel like to be top of the pack?
I don't know, but I can ask someone who does. Vico, you are at the top of the leaderboard. You have so many points, 232. In fact, it's more than you thought you had.
Yeah, it's actually more. Like, I thought I had like 210 when I looked at the leaderboard, but it's nice. I have 80-point difference now.
Do you feel comfortable? Or are you slightly worried that when the elimination points are doubled, people are going to cane on you?
No, I feel comfortable because if it's double eliminations points, I just need to play consistent now because I have like a huge difference to everyone else.
How do you feel about Cammy being 3rd? Is he your closest rival?
I feel pretty safe right now because I think Kami's not the player that will drop a 20 bomb to catch up. He's probably gonna play really good now, though.
Yeah, he's got nothing to lose because he's not winning like you. Awkwardly, though, behind you is your friend Marco. He's second. Marco, do you feel like there's a rivalry brewing between the two of you?
Nah, that's my bro.
It's your bro, but what happens if he wins over you? Is that just you being nice?
Nah, he won't.
Oh, I mean, he's got quite a few more points than you at the moment. Are you concerned about Marco getting aggressive, maybe hot dropping you later?
No, because he has shit drops his controller.
Oh, okay. Well, I can't wait to see what happens between the two of you. Shake hands. We like handshakes here. We're on LAN again. We're going to make the most of the handshakes and the fist bumps. Right now, though, I'm going to fist bump my way over to Ian Chambers.
Well, good question. Well, Nico, number one with a bullet, right? And he's standing by with, his mum's standing by with Frankie actually right now. Two really good mothers are about to have a conversation with each other. Frankie.
Thank you, Ian. Wow, you've set the bar really high with this one, but I know Manuela, Vico's mum, is going to exceed it because, Manuela, you are really the mastermind behind Vico's career. You're so busy making sure he gets to competitions. How much has your life changed since your son became a professional Fortnite player?
I have no life, no own life. My life is my boy.
And you know what? You don't just look after Vico, you look after a lot of the players here. How proud are you to see them all competing against each other on LAN?
I'm really, really proud. I think I'm the proudest mom.
You are definitely one of the proudest mums. You're also one of the loudest mums as well. Whenever Vico's doing well, whenever he's on screen, you can hear this mama from the gallery. Have you got any fighting talk to cheer him on as he heads into game number 5?
Go, Vico, go. You know our code. Go, Vico, go. Go, Vico, go. Go, Vico, go. Go, Vico, go. Go, Vico, go.
We're going to head back to Ian Chambers where we're going to keep cheering. Go, Vico, go.
Go, Vico, go. Go, Vico, go. Go, Vico, go.
Oh, my.
Go, Vico, go. Hey, do you know what? He doesn't know it now. Maybe he does. But he has got an incredible mum.
Unbelievable.
Try to avoid dealing as much damage as possible. Same could be said for Vico. These guys don't want to fight people, but they're going to have to start thinking about that. Vico just gliding his way through this zone right now, and he needs to find some sort of safety. Can't afford to stay out in open too long. You've got to think he'll get caught out, but he is looking for opportunities. Running into a box. A big 150. He does not miss those.
Vico is on fire, and Vortex is trying to have his say too. What a refresh for Vico. Can it keep him afloat during this game? And Vortex makes use of the gliding feature of this massive building in the middle of the city. This is really gonna, hopefully for him, keep him going this endgame without having to expend materials.
If I'm him, I'm gliding as high as I can, waiting for everyone beneath me to go down. And if there's one person he's gonna hope goes down, it's gonna be Vico, who's again continuing to just slide his way on through, hitting players as he goes about it. He spots another one, but isn't going to overcommit. He just keeps on hitting shots. He's on autopilot right now, but he doesn't seem to know how to miss.
He's definitely on autopilot. These grind rails are proving madness right now because nobody knows what's going on, nobody knows where they're going, and nobody has control. It's Vortex is on that mid-ground layer, doing very well as well. Vico down on low.
And as good as Vortex is doing to stay alive, he needs Vico to go down if there's any hope for him, and that might just happen here. Vico just getting out of the way. He got coned, but eventually was able to sneak his way on out and play in this zone. Needs to start getting back in though. There are players here. It's Kylie right in front of him. That's his former duo. He's going to hope he can do him a couple favors, gets back in the zone, and has some time to use some shields.
That med miss was so crucial for him right there, going back into the storm, getting into this position. He's still alive, he's still well, 28 builds to his name, as well as Vortex is still alive and kicking. Who's it going to be? Is it going to be Vortex? Is it going to be Vico? We will find out very, very shortly as Vortex is on the aggressive. He's looking less good on the materials. 6 builds for him right now. He needs a refresh, and a refresh he might find if there's someone inside of his box. He actually just evades the attention of Vortex. Unfortunately for him, and he's not going to be able to get that refresh, but he does. It's another player.
He can't afford to let this game pass him by. Every single player that goes down before Vico just makes it so much harder for him to catch up. He needs to pop off and pop off now. All Vico has to do is continue to stay alive, and he's doing that so well. So good on HP. Well, Texas is struggling though. He needs to be careful. There's players on his wall trying to get in his face. He might go down. He will. And that just means Vico can continue to play this game. And Vico can be his victory lap. It's going to be so good for Vico. He doesn't know it yet, but that is everything he needed in this game.
Vico takes out Peppo there as well, which gets him another huge refresh. Nearly 500 metal right now from him, so he could just tarp his way to victory here in Edinburgh right now. This is incredible. Can he do it? He just has to ride the wave of success. I don't know if he knows it, but he should be on top.
This could be the game of his life. He'll have dreams about this one over and over again. There's a couple players now standing in his way, but it means so much for the Austrian. All he has to do is close things out. His biggest competitors are down. He's done so well all throughout today to beat them, to best them, and it looks like he's going to do it here again in game number 8, breaking into a box, hitting another shot. How many times has Vico done that today? It's notoriety that falls. He can continue to do it. There's 2 more players remaining. The spray comes from above. No builds remaining, and so he's going to have to pick up the play in the zone. He sees it coming. It's Vico's day. It's Vico's world. We're just living in it. Medmis comes out now. He's going back in the storm. Can he win this game? He's up against Cammy. He's done this fight before, but will he win this out? It's Vico. It is Vico. It is all Vico, your Red Bull contested champion, Vico!
Incredible stuff from Vico. You can see just what that means to him. What a way to close out the day in first place with a victory royale. So many moments in that end game we thought, is he going to go down? What's going on? He's jumping in the box. Is it going to play out for him? But it has.
It does not get better than that. That is what you live for as a competitor in this game. To grind, to practice, to travel all across the world in top competitions. It must mean so much for him, the emotions starting to run through. Oh my goodness, what a day it's been, Mini. I've had an absolute blast casting with you. I wouldn't want to do it with anybody else, my friend, but that is it from us today. We're going to send it back to Ian and the analysts to break it all down.
Wow, that is how you finish a tournament. What an emotional moment, not just for everybody here, for him in particular, and yourself, Reese. You're sitting there almost welling up for him. What?
I've nearly got tears in my eyes. So did he. Let's go.
Look what it means to him. Listen to this crowd here, this live crowd in Edinburgh, with an ovation for this magnificent, consistent performance. Taka, nobody could deserve it more.
Absolutely not. Vico has earned every single bit of this championship title here today at the Red Bull contested LAN, and you really couldn't be happier for him. I mean, a player so deserving. Again, he has been absolutely grinding to make it to this point where he gets to actually have the title namesake for his own.
You know what? When I saw him on Thursday, he goes, I'm going to win. And he said it about 5 more times. When I saw him yesterday, he is, I'm going to win. And when I see him today, he goes, guess what? I am going to win.
You know what? Self-belief goes a long way. But you've got to back it up in the map. And he did it consistently. And to finish with a victory royale. But in the most emphatic fashion. Sorry, Taka.
No, it's not that. It's just that, like, my favorite part about it all is that he did it resorting back to his natural instincts. We saw that aggressive Vico gameplay that put him in that first place position to begin with. And for a moment, we were all a little bit concerned, kind of holding our own breath, watching him. He's sitting inside the bush. He's trying to play just as far away from him as possible. It seems as though he was really just prioritizing staying alive over everything else. And you see Vortexers creeping. But ultimately, Vico just absolutely ripping through on those grind rails.
And it's such a phenomenal point, right? Because we're sitting, seeing the perspectives, and we're seeing it's just, oh, he has less builds than everyone else. Everyone else is in a better position. Yeah, he's up on the leaderboard, but they look better. And then that switch flicked right when he jumped into that box. Aggression, game winner.
You know what? I've got a feeling we're going to see the game-winning moment very shortly, and I'm sure that Vico will watch it back over and over again. But let's just reflect on some of the other players that we saw in our final game.
I mean, it's been a phenomenal tournament, and there's been massive pop-ups, massive performances from every single player that we've had here, essentially.
Okay, but can we talk about Venno hitting the most disgusting sniper shot onto a moving dirt bike moment? It's just like, it's insane to think about that he can still maintain that kind of precision.
That might have been play of the tournament if Vico wasn't so amazing. Let's be real. That's maybe Twitter clip outside of that, right?
We saw so many amazing plays all day long, and the final game just gave us everything we wanted the incredible hype, the determination from every single player that wanted to make it, and this moment, and these final moments from our champion Vico.
That right there was the turning point. We said they're playing it slow, and that is the moment to turn it on. The first Elan, the first refresh, materials straight back into the inventory, and it was time to turn it on and pop off and win that match.
And the materials as well, because we saw him just continuing over and over again, hopping on top of that grind rail, trying to make sure that he could circumvent all of that congestion starting to close in on him, and he just did such an excellent job of just keeping it moving. He did not slow down.
In that instance, Cammy had a chug cannon in his inventory. He just grabbed a med mist. Had Vico missed that one bullet right at the end, Cammy could have won the game. I mean, let's be real, Vico still would have won though.
Look at that. I mean, look, it's there in writing. It is done and dusted. After 8 games, we can finally look at this leaderboard and see Vico. Look at him, 414 points. He is, in fact, our champion. Absolutely. I think we've got a winner's interview, a champion's interview standing by. Frankie, do it for us. I can't wait to hear from this man.
10 lands. 10 lands is what it took for 16-year-old Vico to take his first 2 victory royales on LAN. And of course, the Red Bull contested trophy. Vico, I know that the tears are still in your eyes. The shock is still on your face, but can you sum up what this means in a few words for us now?
It means a lot to me because I promised my mom and I told everyone I was going to win this, and I actually did. So that makes me really happy.
I think there are a few people out there who never had any doubt, because since the start of today, you have been consistent, you have been aggressive, and you've always had your eyes on the prize. But tell me about those last zones in Mega City, because the concentration was there. You'd already taken out your opponents, but you kept fighting until the finish. Tell me all about those moments.
So the zones from Mega City were really good for me because I didn't have to waste any mats. And I was just I thought Retexus or Bevies was still alive, so I just tried to get a really, 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 really good game. So I had a good point difference.
Well, it's no surprise that you are our EE Player of the Tournament. You've got another accolade to your name, Vico. But what is in your future?
And my future is definitely winning FNCS with Pink. I hope it's going to be this season or on LAN. And just being the best player I ever can.
Thank you so much. You're definitely the best player here in Edinburgh. McEwen Hall, give it up for Vico.
In a building steeped in history, it's time to make some more. 8 long games, players from all over the world stood in his way. The first ever Red Bull contested champion is Vico!
Ian, today has been all about the players, and now this moment is all about Vico. But you can just feel the atmosphere in this room. Everyone wants to support this player. Fortnite, at the end of the day, it's the community, and here they got to do what they love to do most of all, which is play on LAN. The biggest LAN the UK has ever seen in Fortnite.
Can you believe we've completed it in arguably the greatest venue to ever home an esports event? I am putting it out there. McEwen Hall, it has been amazing. All the players have been absolutely fantastic, especially this guy right here. Can we all just give him one more round of applause, please, Edinburgh?
Ian, we've got to say a massive thank you to everyone who came out today, everyone watching around the world, all of our players and the team that made it happen. Right now, though, I think it's time to wrap things up and really give the player the moment he deserves. Red Bull contested!